just read an article saying that liquor companies have the most supply of liquor they've ever had. It's like that it's bad for business. That they're sitting on billions and billions of dollars of unsold alcohol.
Maybe
That's
it's
crazy.
because the palate of the younger generation isn't what it used to be.
Younger
They
generations
like
don't
their
drink like Gen X and millennials, dude.
they
They don't
don't
drink.
they like their fruity drinks and their was it that White Claw and that kind of stuff, man. They're not into hardcore liquor anymore.
And they get into pot.
There you go.
Mhm.
You know what? I was looking at some things that were coming through. Like I was saying, the Masters of the Universe trailer came out, and if you remember, if you know, you know, because back in the day, it was one of the it's a cult classic, but it wasn't a very good film. But now they have the remake coming through, and that one actually looks pretty good. Looks interesting. And I know what you were saying about He-Man and this and that, but you never
We won't
watched
get
it.
into that.
You never watched it. You know, you
I never
like
did.
I didn't play with dolls. I don't play with dolls.
Action
Figures.
figures. Action figures are just dolls for boys, man. That's all that it is. 1 minute till the start of the show. You know, it's funny. Sinners broke the record for the most nominations for the Oscars, the Academy Awards coming up. I saw another movie last night that won the Academy Award for Best Picture, and I will tell you this much. That movie, I think, was better than Sinners. I like Sinners a lot. Okay? No shade on Sinners. Very good movie. But the best movie of 2025? I don't know, man. It'll be like Traffic. You know, when Traffic won Best Picture,
Yeah.
it was kind of like, well, it was the best picture of the year, but it was a bad year. Is it the Stefan Castle of movies, right? Is it
Look at
a bad rookie class?
somebody is saying Wembeyaso, El Wembeyaso. Hopefully he'll show up tonight.
Area 210, where the dreams don't fade. From the river walk nights to the Alamo shade, we rise together through the highs and the lows. Area 210, oh, it's the life that we chose.
We're rising together on a Thursday. My name is Mike Jimenez. That's Joe Garcia, and this is the Area 210 podcast powered by Hard Rock Cafe San Antonio, also powered by PF Chang's La Cantera. They power the chat. We see lots of people already in the mix. Tony, Joy-Con, Sam Salinas, Greg. Good morning to everybody. Alex Noriega, Pete Aguilar. Good morning. It is game day. Bobby, Albert in the house. Good morning. It is game day for the Spurs. Big time favorites tonight, Joe. Did you just tell me that it was a 12.5 point spread?
12.5 point spread. That's kind of high, Mike. I gotta say, dude. Like, that's guaranteeing victory. You don't never guarantee victory, bro. We learned that the hard way. But I'll show you with the graphic. Our good friend Paul Garcia, friend of the show, he
Yeah.
had put this out. He's a good numbers guy, man. But damn, can you believe that? 12.5 tonight in Utah?
I
And look at
know.
questionable tonight, Mike.
Luke
The big
Cornett.
elote. Luke
And,
Cornett, Jeremy Sohan illness. No mames, dude. What's he sick of?
Also out, Devin Vassell. Should we be worried about this? Because
I am.
NBA.com projected that Vassell would be back by the 19th. And last I checked, today's the 22nd. We'll get into that. We'll talk about the Spurs game tonight as they try to bounce back from that embarrassing implosion that they had against the Houston Rockets. Speaking against the Houston Rockets, I did not realize until yesterday that the Rockets play the Spurs again in Houston next week. Last night, Spurnandez was reaching out to me going, hey, are you going to the game? So the look that Chica gave me when I kind of side-eyed her a little bit and was like, hey, baby, mind if I go with Spurnandez to the Spurs game again? She's like, didn't you just go? Didn't we just go to the Toyota Center? And now I have about 5 or 6 more days to try to, like, I don't know, convince wifey that it's okay for me to go out there again to watch the Spurs play the Rockets
You
when they
gonna let
bounce
you?
back over
Will
here.
they let you? Will they
I
let
know.
you?
I gotta ask for permission, baby. That's how all good marriages work, man. Ask
You
me
know
for
what you do,
permission.
Mike? You come in and you butter her up. You give her, flowers or something. Maybe a bottle of wine, and tell her, "Come on, come on."
Yeah.
Butter her up.
So I've already lined her up with things to do. She wants to stay home and do nothing, and I get it, man, because we've been out and about, going back and forth between San Antonio and Conroe. We went on vacation to Mexico. We've had family visit us. We've been visiting family. We have a lots going on. So she's excited about the ice storm this weekend because it
Yeah.
forces us to stay home. By the way, we did postpone our party for the Area 210 podcast, which was supposed to be this Saturday. We'll do it at the end of February. But Joe, I'll tell you what though, man. Uh, we've been doing so much. We have tickets to go see Ralph Barbosa in Houston at the Houston Improv in a couple of weeks. That's going to be during the week as well. So I've been inundating her with stuff to do. Chica would go with me to the Spurs game if we decide to go again, but man, that's an expensive adventure, man. It costs money to go to games, especially if you want to be lower level, right? We don't want to sit up in the top, Joe, right? Who do we don't want to sit out with
The peasants.
with the peasants. Yeah,
Yeah,
we
I
just
like
don't
I
want
like
to
I said, man, we can go to a game together, but we ain't sitting together, man. Real talk, dude.
I know. I even joked with her when we were at the arena the other day that I'll get her a box seat, but man, those are kind of pricey.
No, man, you got
I
to go
gotta, I
in,
gotta,
all in, dude,
I
all
gotta,
in with those.
I gotta go make some money, baby. Gotta make some money.
Oh, you know what? That was funny because somebody had put in a comment here, and they go, "What was Mike doing at 5 years old?" Look at that right there, Joy-Con Drift King. Mike out making money at 5 years old. Paper
Do you,
route.
do you know what I did in middle school and high school, Joe, to make money?
What'd you
I
do?
pr- I pretended for the entire year to be doing fundraisers for schools. Like this is for band, this is for tennis, this is for journalism class, this is for whatever. And really, all I was doing every week was going to Wins. Remember Wins? I go to Wins and buy a crap ton of candy, and I'd sell it at like triple the price throughout the week, saying that it was for a fundraiser. And really, I was just pocketing that money, man, baby. Got to make that money. Entrepreneur, baby, at 12 years old doing all that, man.
Look
But
at Miguel Perez says he got peasant tickets at the Frost, man. You know what it is, dude? I mean, there's nothing wrong with sitting in the
no,
higher bowl, bro. But you know what? Those days are gone for me. If I'm gonna go this time, and we're doing okay now, Joe makes a little bit of money. I'm gonna go ahead and buy lower bowl tickets, dude. I don't go to a lot of games, but if I'm gonna go, I'm gonna make it count.
yeah, and we're not trying to make fun of all that, man. Because, dude,
Yeah,
I lived in the upper deck, my teens, my 20s, and my 30s. But at
yeah,
some point in life, you're making a little bit more scratch than before, and you want to have the nicer alcohol. You want to have the nicer things, the better seats. That's all we're saying. Nothing wrong with being
you,
up top. And we
yeah.
joke when we say the peasants because we are reformed peasants. We were the peasants up there at one point in our lives. We
Oh,
just can't do that. I can't take Chica. I can't take my wife, who likes to dress in sparkles and look good at the games. I can't have her in section 204.
what did
Not
she
not
say? She
not at this stage.
Joe has rubbed off on Chica because now she says it too. She goes, Mike, I don't want to sit with the peasants.
And we say that affectionately and lovingly. Okay. Again, I will go with the boys. Joe, you and I have sat in the on the upper bowl together just like
Yeah,
2 years ago, right? 2 seasons ago,
yeah.
we were up in the upper deck.
We're
If
like
it
in the
was
first or second row, though. We're
if
up there.
I'm with Joe, if I'm with Fernandez, we want to go upper level, that's fine. But if I'm taking my girl, if I'm taking my wife out there, we sit lower bowl. That's just how we roll. So we're talking about the Spurs tonight. We're going to also preview the NFC and AFC championship games. Nick Foles led the Philadelphia Eagles to the Super Bowl. Is Jared Stidham the next Nick Foles? And which game are we more excited about? Are we more excited about the Rams against the Seahawks? Are we more excited about the Broncos Patriots? We'll get into that. Sinners broke a record today. The most nominations for the Academy Awards, for the Oscars. Is Sinners really the best movie that came out? Is that the best movie that came out? Because we'll get into that. Joe was giving me some crap about that because he really loved the movie. I liked it a lot. I'll even say that I loved the movie, but I have a hard time believing that it was the best movie that came out in 2025. But we'll get into that. Also, the liquor companies are complaining because there's a stockpile of alcohol that's not been sold. Dude, people are doing dry January. What's that all about? That's coming to an end. But why aren't people drinking anymore?
I
Like,
don't know,
why
man.
would
Maybe
somebody
they
go
get.
a whole month without drinking? I never understand. I
Maybe
had
it's
a
because they
friend.
want to reset the liver, dude. Maybe just go ahead and get on the health kick for January. You're gonna go ahead and that's your New Year's resolution. But how long does that actually last, Mike? A week?
Exactly. And the whole thing about dry January is saying that you're going to go 30 days. And then it's kind of like no shave November. Come on,
No, that's not
man.
what it's called. That's not what it's called. That's
No,
not what it's
dry
called.
January is dry January, but no shave November is everybody not shaving for a month. Why don't we just all do our thing? Joe, I had a friend who had a DUI many, many, many years ago, and he decided to go to rehab, right, for alcohol. And he
Yeah.
asked for me to spot him. He said, "Hey, Jimenez, I'm not drinking for a while for like 90 days or I'm going through this thing. Will you like not drink for 90 days with me?" And I did, dude. I stopped drinking for 3 months to kind of be there with my friend and get him through the process as he was going through it all. Let him know that, hey, I'm there with you. And then he was like, "Isn't it great to not drink anymore?" I was like, "Dude, you told me 90 days. I did the 90 days. I did 3 months without drinking. No bourbon, no alcohol, no tequila, no anything, no beer, no nothing." I said, "I'm off the ride after 90 days. I'm not gonna like not drink." I have friends who have stopped drinking for good, Joe. And I look at them and I'm like, "How are you sipping on O'Doul's, man? I can't live that life, Joe. I need to have alcohol in my life." Uber is your friend, dude. Uber is your friend. But man, we're gonna get into the Academy Awards. We're gonna get into drinking, all sorts of things. That's gonna be our Hard Rock conversation of the day. PF Chang's is gonna sponsor our sports talk. Hard Rock sponsored our entertainment talk. This is a fun show. Joe even got a compliment on the YouTube channel
I saw,
yesterday.
man.
People watching the show, as Mike Taylor likes to say, in the future. They're not watching it live, but they watch it later on in the day. And they like the analysis that we gave about the Spurs game against the Rockets when the Spurs lost the game to the Rockets. They liked what we had to say. Thank you to so much to everyone listening in the future who watched the show in the
Yeah.
afternoon, who watched the show in the evening. Dude, we get people who watch overnight, the overnight shift, who come
Yeah.
in and listen to the show. So thank you for spreading all this. It was interesting, Joe. We had a great momentum with this program in December. We were having a lot of people watching the show. But then we took time off for vacation because of Christmas and New Year's and all that stuff. So we have to gain that momentum back, and our numbers are starting to come back, Joe. People are getting back. They're like, oh, yeah, Area 210 is still going on.
We're back again.
We're back again. But when is Devin Vassell going to come back? Because last I checked, Joe, NBA.com estimated that he would be back by January 19th. He's still on the injury list, Joe. And I said that to you guys
Yeah.
yesterday. Look at the injury list for tonight's game against the Jazz. Spurs 12.5-point favorites, but Devin Vassell out. Again, Luke Cornett, questionable. Jeremy Sohan, as though he was going to play, also listed as questionable as well. Found that to be interesting, Joe. Luke Cornett has a left abductor tightness or injury with tightness. Jeremy Sohan saying that he has some sort of illness going on. But Vassell also with a left abductor strain. We haven't seen Devin Vassell in a while, Joe, and the Spurs have missed him. What we were hot from three the other day for the first quarter, then wet the bed the rest of the way. Shot less than 20% from three in the second, third, and fourth quarters against the Rockets. Spurs lost that 16-point lead, lost that game to Houston. It was in embarrassing fashion because the Spurs were rocking and rolling. We need some three-point shooters out there. Devin Vassell, along with Champagne, is our guy, is doing that. Vassell been out for the better part of a month now. Should we be worried, Joe, that he's not going to come back anytime soon?
I think you have cause of concern because Devin Vassell, he's missed a lot, even more so than he did last season. They haven't really said a lot about his injury. They're saying, oh, yeah, he was, out there doing, was it 5-on-5? He's out there working. He's almost back. But there's not really a lot to be said about it. They're kind of quiet. They're not releasing a lot of information. They're trying to keep his return hopeful. We're at the midway point of the season.
Mm-hmm.
There's pause for concern right now with Devin Vassell because he is the glue that keeps this team together and makes them play a lot better while they're out there on the court. With his return not anytime imminent as of yet, I'd be concerned. It's like, is this injury, let's say, a little bit more serious than they're letting on? Is there going to be some type of a surgery that maybe they're pondering right now? And if that's the case, then he's probably more than likely going to miss the rest of the season. So something's amiss here. They're not giving you the full story. And we don't know what it is truly because we don't have, insider information. We're just speculating. But when you look at things like this in years past, even with other players, when they miss a certain amount of time, it's more than likely that there's something else going on behind the scenes that they're kind of, maybe they need a third opinion, a fourth opinion. Let's get all the facts together. Maybe there is some type of a surgery that might need to be had, but they're asking, the health squad over here, the doctors, can we wait on something like this? Right? Or do we have to do it now? I think they're looking at all the options in front of them. And of course, if he is healthy, maybe they're just trying to bring him on. That way he can go ahead and make a strong push for the end of the season here as they start getting ready to make a move for the playoffs. So we'll see what happens, man. But it's question. There's a big question mark on Devin Vassell.
Devin Vassell has missed 12 games. He has missed 12 games. The last time he played was December 29th. This is a guy that for the Spurs averages 15 points per game, 4 rebounds, and 2.5 assists.
Yeah.
He's a vital part of this team because not only does he bring energy on the offensive side, but he also has a three-point shot. Now, is he streaky? Yes. But when you put it all together, the bad games and the good games together, his three-point shooting is actually pretty decent, man. He's north of 36% for his career. He's north of 36% for this year. And because of that, we need that because we've said this before. Fox can't shoot threes. Castle can't shoot threes. Harper can't shoot threes. Carter Bryant can't shoot threes. Sohan can't shoot threes. We need three-point attempts from somebody who can knock him down. Harrison Barnes has been playing so poorly the past month that we need shooters. If Devin Vassell had been out there the last 12 games, some of the losses that we had to teams like Portland, teams like Utah, to teams like that would never have happened, Joe. We would have closed out Houston in Houston if Devin Vassell was out there because, again, he can knock down some threes and he spreads the floor. We talk about the fact that Wemby can't get in his position, either A, because he's not strong enough to, but also because defenses collapse on this team when they can't shoot threes because they're daring us to shoot threes. But Devin Vassell, his injury, I saw him in Houston at that game, had lower level seats to that game against the Rockets and Spurs. He was warming up with the team. He didn't look hurt. He looked perfectly fine. He was shooting threes. He was doing his moves, all that stuff. Something is telling me that they're just holding him back for one reason or another, and it ain't because of injury. Yeah. Is it Joe? Is he trade bait?
Yeah, the same thing's happening with Sohan. They said he has an illness now. I'm like, what is this illness? Gone.
Well, we weren't even going to talk about this conversation. This was nothing that we had discussed before the show.
Yeah.
But could Devin Vassell actually be trade bait for a big deal? This is a guy, again, you have to match salaries whenever you do something, right?
Yeah.
He makes about $29 million per year. If the Spurs are going to make a big splash, they have to get rid of, they have to unload salary. Devin Vassell's would be ideal for that. Because wouldn't you want to get rid of Vassell versus Keldon Johnson? I'm not saying that the Spurs are going to make a big splash, but I'm saying that if they are, the one salary that has to go would actually have to be Devin's.
Maybe.
Because if you're going to go out there and try to get Lauri Markkanen, as JHNSB says, you have to give out some salary. And I'm just pointing that out there. I want Devin Vassell to be back on this team, especially if they're not planning on trading him. Because, again, he spreads the floor. Spurs favored by 12.5 points. And, Joe, you're not a big believer in that spread.
Oh,
because
God,
you're like, I know Utah's one of the worst teams in the league, but we're on the road. Spurs should win this game. We should expect this team to win this game. But 12.5 points, that's either very complimentary of the Spurs or very demeaning towards the Jazz. What are your thoughts?
I think it's more demeaning towards the Jazz because the Jazz are going to be at home, and the Jazz are one of these teams that have beat the Spurs despite their record. And Lauri Markkanen has gone off against the San Antonio Spurs, especially down low inside the paint. Mm-hmm. Now you're going to have Luke Cornett out. You have Wemby on a minutes restriction. Who's going to be playing the center position? You're gonna run out Bismack. Who's going to be out there? Are they going to go ahead and trot out Jeremy Sohan? No, they can't because he has chorro. He has his illness that he's not playing tonight. So it's going to be like you're missing your a presence inside the paint, a shot blocker, somebody that's going to be able to kind of deter shots a little bit. And if he's not there, the Jazz are going to feast down low inside the paint. That does not bode well for the San Antonio Spurs, especially when the Jazz have somebody like Lauri Markkanen that can make a living inside the paint. I think that the 12.5 spread is way too high. I actually think the Spurs might be in a really close race against the Jazz, and they might squeak out with maybe a 3-point victory.
Well, I mean, everyone's pointing out the injuries that they have. Lauri Markkanen, we're not going to have to worry about because he's out tonight.
All right. Well, I guess the odds are even then.
so may the odds be in our favor. No. So again, here's a game time decision is Jeremy Sohan with an illness. This is the update according to ESPN.com. Devin Vassell's out. Game time decision for Luke Cornett. And David Jones Garcia is also considered a game time decision. I guess they brought him back up to the varsity squad. Keontae George with a forearm injury, game time decision. Laurie Markkinen is out. And then they also have Harkness and Young also out for the game. Sensabaugh's a game time decision for the Jazz. So lots of injuries over there. But still, it's a road team. And the Spurs play up to their competition. They play down to the competition. That's just what the Spurs do. And the Spurs get off to hot starts, and then they fall apart sometimes. Spurs at 30-14 on the season, still one of the top 3 teams in the Western Conference. Heartbreaking for the Spurs yesterday to see the Atlanta Hawks pull off a victory yesterday at the very, very end of the game yesterday. It went down to the final minute. Big time shot by Atlanta to win that game. But the Spurs coming in at 30-14. We're still a game ahead of the Denver Nuggets for the second spot, the second seed in the Western Conference. You look at it, Joe. The Spurs finishing as a 2 seed pretty much guarantees that they make their way to the second round of the playoffs. Because if you look at that dogfight between Denver, Houston, the Lakers, and Phoenix, you want them to cannibalize themselves and the Spurs to get a team like Minnesota or Golden State. And I know that we struggled against both those teams, and we were also, had injuries at those points. But those are going to be easier squads to beat in the first round. I don't want the Spurs to be battling up against Houston or Denver or even the Lakers in the first round. It's important for the Spurs to be one of the top 2, at the very least, one of the top 3 seeds going into the playoffs. But the Spurs, a game ahead of Denver, just 2.5 games against Houston over Houston. Spurs take on Houston in Houston again next week. It's one of those things, man. We gotta win the games that we need to win, Joe. We need to win the games that are easy. Spurs taking on the Jazz right now tonight, 12.5-point favorites. After that, home game against New Orleans. We should knock that one out. Then we go on the road next week against the Rockets and the Charlotte Hornets. Then we're back home against Orlando and the Oklahoma City Thunder. Then we have a back-to-back game, home and home, against the Dallas Mavericks. Then we go on that rodeo road trip, Joe. The rodeo road trip coming up ahead, but you're showing the standings right now. Oklahoma City still at number 1. They'll finish the season ranked number 1. Spurs at number 2. Denver, Houston are 3 and 4. Lakers and Suns at 5 and 6. Those would make their ways into the playoffs. As of now, the play-in teams are Minnesota, Golden State, Portland, and the Clippers. And on the outside looking in is the Memphis Grizzlies and the Dallas Mavericks. Again, Joe, 12.5-point favorites. I'd say the Spurs win tonight, but 12.5 points is a lot of points, even with all the injuries going on in Utah.
Yeah, and you've seen what they do with leads. They squander the leads and they let the opposing team make a run. It's going to come at some point in time. A run's going to happen. Usually against the Spurs, that run will happen in the fourth quarter. And even though they're up by double digits, they still do enough to win, but it gets interesting. I think that same scenario could play out again tonight, even if they're up by 16 or whatever. I expect them to win, but I don't expect them to win by 12.5.
On our chat, powered by P.F. Chang's La Cantera, Joy-Con says Golden State will go as far as Steph can take them. Curry could drop 40+ each time against the Spurs. And that's the thing. We saw that against Golden State earlier this year. Golden State did win, but they needed a godlike performance by Steph Curry to make it happen.
Yeah.
Curry goes and does 30, 34, 36 points. Spurs win all day, every day. Curry going off for 40+ is a different type of team. So you need to have an A+ effort from Golden State to beat the Spurs. Spurs do a B effort against Golden State. They win every time. Same goes against the T-Wolves as well. JHNSB saying that, Samson is asking, do we really want Minnesota?
No.
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, you let one player go off and just clamp down everybody else, dude.
Well, the thing is that in the playoffs, it's a different animal. And the Spurs, when you start pressuring them, especially from a defensive perspective, they're soft, man. They fold.
Mm-hmm.
And even Mitch Johnson has called them out and told them they're soft. I've been telling you all they're soft. And the same scenario is going to come out in the playoffs. Let's say your weaknesses, they come to the top, man. It just kind of fizzles up to the top. All the stuff that you're trying to hide and mask and all that, the other teams will expose you, especially in the playoffs. And this Spurs team right now, they're soft. They squander leads, 16-point leads. They let the other teams bully them inside the paint, push them around, and that happens, man. You got to, like it says in dodgeball, you got to get mean. You got to get
Right.
angry. You got to
But
play with some huevos, man. You can't do that.
at the same time, some of these teams are just one hit wonders, man. Let Anthony Edwards go off. Let a John Morant go off. Let a Laurie Markkinen. I mean, Utah's not going to make the playoffs, but you know what I'm saying. And at the same time, as is pointed out by Mario Cavazos on our chat powered by PF Chang's La Cantera, Jimmy Butler's gone.
Yeah.
Right? Golden State has now become a one-man team. You let their stars go off and you clamp down everybody else. It doesn't matter if Anthony Edwards or Steph Curry goes for 37, 38 points. It's making sure that the second and third options are not going off for 25. That's the thing. I mean, we saw that the other day. We had a player score 50 some odd points on the Spurs, and guess what? It didn't matter. It didn't result in a win. If you clamp down everybody else, the Spurs are going to be perfectly fine. But the Spurs
I
are
don't know,
healthier.
Mike. I don't know, Mike. What's going to happen with the generational type of player that we have out there in Wemby? Are
He's
we
not
going to see
generational
Wemby
yet.
Ganas? Are we going to see El Wembeyazo in the playoffs? I want to see Wemby take over the damn game, and then say, you know what? We're not losing this one tonight. They squandered a 16-point lead against the Rockets. And what happened with Wemby? Put his tail between his legs, showed his belly. I don't want to see Wemby Ganas. I want to see El Wembeyazo. We don't see that, man. It's consistent. I want to see that now. I don't want to wait. What's going to happen? Let's see. You know what, Wemby? You're the tallest guy out there. Take over the game, man. Period.
So Mitch Johnson said after the game against the Rockets, and Wemby alluded to this also. He says, we're trying to figure out how to not squander these big leads. Because the Spurs have lost, 5 or 6 games this year where they were up
Yeah.
by double digits in the second half. It might be more than that, right? I'm just counting it off my head. 5 or 6. Might be 7 or 8. The only way that the Spurs are gonna be able to keep those leads is if they drive to the bucket, because they cannot rely on their jumpers. The Spurs are missing
Yeah.
Vassell. Harrison Barnes was the second guy that was knocking down threes. You had the whole Mr. 100, which by the way is the stupidest nickname of all time. I roll my eyes every time Sean Elliott says it. But if Barnes ain't going to be shooting threes, then you have to attack the basket. You need to have Harper, Fox, and Castle somehow make their way inside and force the action inside. Because you know what? We don't trust their jumper to go through. It's so inconsistent. The Spurs aren't inconsistent. The shooting is inconsistent of those guys. And because the shooting's inconsistent from those guys, you have to take advantage of the days that Champagne's on fire. You have to take advantage of the days that whether it be Barnes, somebody's on fire. And when the Spurs pulled Champagne out of the game for a full quarter after a halftime, his ass was seated. You include halftime on a national televised game, and the full quarter that he was benched, he hadn't sniffed the court for over an hour, Joe.
And don't forget about the rim. They had to come out and check the rim again.
Yeah. JHNSB is saying Steph Castle's a huge disappointment. We have to understand what he is. We have to understand what he is. He's a scorer. He's a driver. He's a facilitator, but he ain't a shooter. And that's the problem, Joe. You look at the Rockets roster, right? The Rockets have, Jabari Smith Jr., Kevin Durant, Clint Capella. They have a lot of Amen Thompson. They have a lot of good players on that roster. But they needed Reed Shepherd to bring that team back. And I told you yesterday that the only player I feared on that team was Reed Shepherd, not because he's an all-time great, but because there's certain players out there that just get on rolls. They just get on runs, man. Like, you may be scared of Curry back in the day, but I was more fearful of Klay Thompson. I was more fearful of players like Doug McDermott back in the day, or, players that can just catch fire and have a struggling team, lift a struggling team up. The Spurs don't have that player that lifts a struggling team up, right? When the Spurs are on fire, they're on fire. But when the Spurs suck, they suck. And that's what we see about this team, is that there's not one player out there who can actually galvanize this team based on their shooting. And the Spurs have, what is it, February 5th? We're 2 weeks away from the NBA trade deadline.
Yep.
Are the Spurs going to do anything to address the shooting? Because as the team is constituted right now, we will be in the second round of the playoffs and we will lose in the second round of the playoffs as the team is constructed right now.
The one thing that the Spurs need to get wise to is the same thing that other teams do to them. And Minnesota is a perfect example. Houston's another one that comes to mind. And what the other teams, the opposing teams, do is they make an adjustment coming out in the second half, right?
You're right.
And it's real simple. All they do is they go ahead and they know what the Spurs our defense is going to do. So they suck them into paint. Because they know that they're going to crowd the paint because they're dumb like that. So all these Spurs defenders crowd the paint because they're trying to go ahead and stop the guy that's driving to the rim. And once they do that, magically they leave everybody open outside the 3-point line, and they just start raining threes on them. And if they don't have a good look from three, they have enough time to go ahead and adjust, go and move in a little bit more, and it's a long two. Either way, it still counts as a point. And the Spurs, they don't know how to go ahead and combat that. It's like, just play one-on-one. If you're going to let the guy go to the rim, just go ahead and try to play the best defense that you can against him, but don't leave people open. Why are you coming up with the help defense when you already have somebody there? You don't need 3 guys, 4 guys inside the paint to guard one guy driving. What's wrong with you? That's bad coaching, man. That's on Mitch. And the other thing that's on Mitch, Sid and Champagny. If the guy is hot, leave him in the game. Like, what's wrong with you? Even the opposing teams fans, you were saying there was Houston Rockets fans. You're like, put him in the game. And they're like, no, leave him on the bench.
I know the fans around me, the Rocket fans around me were asking me, I was screaming, put Champagny back in the game. He's on fire. And everyone, Rockets fans in front of me were like, no, sit his ass down. Like, we don't understand why he's not in the game. Like, and I'm there just boiling, going, it's been a full quarter. Get his ass back on the court. And everyone's laughing, going, why would you take out the hottest player on the roster to play players who are cold?
That's Mitch.
Why was Harper out there when Harper was struggling offensively and defensively? Why would you have Castle out there struggling offensively and defensively when Champagny was out there just lighting it up, man? He was just lighting it up, and you sat him for a full quarter on top of the rim change, on top of halftime, and he was just cold when they finally put him back out there. Great comment from 7173 Alex on our chat, power by BF Cheng's Lock at that. It says there needs to be another dimension to the offense. Barnes and Julian are the same player, he says. That is where Vassell is missed. Barnes needs to go to the bench. How do you have that conversation with Barnes?
Hey, man.
Barnes is the Iron Man. Do you know what's interesting about it all? And I hate to say it this way. Barnes is the Iron Man of the NBA. He's one of the top 5 players with the most number of games played consecutively. He plays 82 games. He needs to rest, man. I know the All-Star break's coming up and all that stuff, but dude, you're getting old. I know you and CP3 pride yourself on starting and pride yourself on I know CP3 is no longer with the Spurs. He's no longer with anybody.
Yeah.
But they pride themselves on being that starter and whatnot. But if you're not the guy anymore, you're not the guy. How do you have that conversation with a Harrison Barnes and say, hey, look, man, we need you to be out there for 12, 15 minutes. We call him the Toyota Corolla affectionately, right?
Yeah.
You can no longer drive him long distances to Houston and Dallas.
Yeah, man.
He's the guy. He's the car you take to HEB.
There's a knock in the engine, Mike. You push that gas and you hear I'm like, no, man, there's something wrong. Something wrong with the Corolla, dude. It needs to be traded in.
I'm looking at the Iron Man streak right now. Mikal Bridges apparently is the longest one right now for the most games in a row played right now. According to interbasket.com, the 25 players who have played the most games currently, it's not giving me what I need. But anyway, long story short, we've seen Barnes play 82 games last year. He's played every game this year, played every game the year before that, played every game the year before that. He's just a guy that goes out there and plays a lot of games in a row. But that's not a thing anymore, Joe. That's not a thing anymore. You got to rest him.
Yeah.
You got to rest him.
We got incoming super chat from Jason Garcia. Thanks, Jason.
Money talk. Here comes the money.
199. Thanks, Jace. Appreciate it.
He says, I'll say it. Take Barnes to pick and pull. Man, just get him for scrap. Just pull the bumper out, pull the dashboard out. Just go to pick and pull, dude.
You're gonna go ahead and just part him out, dude.
Yeah, by the way, the idea of pick and pull being a thing is the funniest thing, Joe. Because I remember my dad would take me to pick and pull every once in a while
Yeah.
back in the day.
Yeah.
And the idea that somebody said, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to get a crap ton of cars and make it look like a graveyard of past vehicles. And people are just going to pull pieces out and pay for it at the front.
Yeah.
Is the funniest thing ever because there's not anything else that you can think of that gets sold in that manner. But pick and pull was, you see people scavenging. It's like pulling the carcass out of pulling the part out of the carcass of a car. It's funny, dude. I enjoyed pick and pull.
Yeah, but you never know what you're gonna find over a pick and pull, man. You open the hood, you get a damn raccoon popping out of there or something. You gotta be careful out there, dude. It gets
Right.
you never know what's gonna pop out of that hood.
That's funny, man. That's funny. Joe, the NFL playoffs we're down to the final four, Joe. We're down to the final four. And the belief is that the Patriots are just going to roll over the Broncos. But the Broncos have one of the best defenses in all of the NFL.
And this they do.
If I had to ask you your confidence level, and I know that New England was your pick to start the year, so we'll give you your love. You've been Joe Stradamus when it comes to it all. But you have Buffalo, you have the Broncos who are going to be the home team. Mile High, Sunday, 2 p.m. It's a home team. You have Sean Payton as the head coach of the Broncos. Jarrett Stidham starting for the Broncos. Do you give the Broncos any chance in this game? Is it a puncher's chance or is it no chance that the Broncos win this game? Because I'm looking at it, the spread's only 4.5. New England's here by 4.5 points. So Vegas is still thinking it's going to be a close game because that Broncos defense is so good. Is it going to be one of those things, Joe, where Stidham has to lead this team to a AFC title? Or is it one of those things where the Broncos have to create the offense by getting turnovers, by beating up Drake May?
I think that's what's going to happen. The Broncos defense is going to be called upon to create the offense. And when I look at both teams, and the Broncos have a really good defense, there's no denying that. But you have a new QB, right? He's still kind of unproven. I mean, he hasn't probably played a lot of minutes at all. He's going to have to be called upon to go ahead and just keep the offense even kill. When that happens, that means you can't do anything flashy. Just go out there and just don't throw interceptions. I got to say, man, when I look at these teams and I'm just looking at the balance on offense and defense, I think the Pats defense can do enough to go and help the Pats win the game. The offense for the Patriots, I think, is going to be, they're going to be coming. They're going to be rushing the QB. He's going to have to go ahead and make decisions. That might turn into a pick or two. But I think the Pats defense can do enough to keep the Pats in the game. And the offense is going to be good enough, just good enough to put more points out on the board. And at the end of the day, I'm going to go with the Pats, man.
This might be, Joe, a game that's going to be the most boring game of the year.
Oh, no, man. I'm here for it.
Okay, so Sunday, 2 p.m., Joe?
I put a 20 on it, Mike. I told you already. Pats over the Broncos.
I want to put a 20 on the over-under.
Oh,
at kickoff, it's going to be 22 degrees, not including the wind chill factor. By the time the game is over, it'll be 17 degrees, not including the wind chill factor. It's not going to be snowing. It's going to be cold as F out there.
Yeah.
We talk about the Texans' defense being so good. Guess who numbers 2 and 3 were in the NFL, in the AFC?
Yeah.
Points given up. The Broncos and Patriots. When I say it's a boring game, because I'm saying that this might be a game that's 17-13. It might be a 16 to 9 type of game. May not look at fireworks when it comes to it all. The Denver Broncos give up 311 points this year, which is great, dude. 311 points in 17 games. That is not a lot of points to give up, Joe. I mean, that is 311 divided by 17 games. That's 18 points per game. They're considered to be one of the best, right? 311, right? Patriots give up 320. It's not like they were that much worse. They have just as good of a defense as the Broncos, but they have the better quarterback than the
Yeah.
Broncos. The question is, Jarrett Stidham, everyone loves him. Like, you look at other, Belichick loved him, wanted him on the team. Sean Payton likes something about him. Is he a gem that just hasn't gotten the opportunity? We saw now. I know that you look at on the NFC side, you have a quarterback with Seattle who struggled coming out, but was a top pick in the NFL draft, and Stidham wasn't. But at the end of the day, there's got to be something there because all the great minds in football have wanted him around either to be a starter or a backup. So what do people see in him? Now, I know that they chose May. They went direction with May over Stidham, and I know that the Broncos ended up going with Bo Nix. But somebody somewhere looks at Stidham and likes what they see. And I don't think that he's going to be out there trying to be a Cooper Rush.
Yeah.
I think that if the opportunity presents itself, Stidham's going to air it out. Stidham might do something. And I'm hopeful for that. I'm hopeful that they make this a game. But you have two quality defenses going out there playing against each other. And whenever you have two quality defenses out there, you never know what's going to happen. Is there going to be a fumble? Is there going to be a tip pass that gets deflected and intercepted? What's going to happen? That's going to be the Broncos' chance of winning this game. Is can they get to Drake May? Can they shut down that defense, that offense, so that Stidham doesn't have to go out there and score 28 points? Because if it gets up to 28 some odd points, I don't think Stidham's going to do that. He hasn't taken a snap in years. But man, if it's 13-13, if it's 13-10, and you only need one drive from him, I would bet on the Patriots winning this game. But what the Broncos need for this game to be a win for them, they need to be low scoring.
Exactly.
And it is hard to get up for a 17-degree game with a wind chill factor, potentially it being windy out there.
That's good hitting weather, Mike. That's good hitting weather, man.
I wonder what the over-under is. 42. I would take the under on that one in a heartbeat.
And we got an incoming super chat. This one's from Greg here. Thank you, Greg. $4.99 incoming super chat from Greg. Look what he says.
Yeah, it says $5 a pitch in for toilet paper. Winter Storm 2026. The ice apocalypse.
The Raza was in full effect in HEB yesterday, dude. And they're full effect in the HEB right now over here on Marbach, dude. They're already wiping out the shelves, buying up all the toilet paper, buying up all the water, buying up all the carne, everything, dude. For what? 1 day, 2 day of cold weather? Like, come on, man.
I know. I asked Chica, like, what do you want me to do? And she goes, we don't need anything. We shop at Costco. We have everything that we need over here.
You know what? If you know, you know. You know what, dude? It's so funny you say that.
Look how much wine we have, Joe. I'm looking at Chica's wine collection. We have about 20 bottles of wine right there. We have about 7 unopened bottles of booze.
I got a whole bunch, dude.
Yeah, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna be fine. We're gonna entertain ourselves.
What's funny? It's funny though, because you can go to Costco, you can go to Sam's Club or whatever and get what you want there, dude. Because you know what? The poor people can't go there, bro.
Yeah. People got us bottles of booze like crazy. They know that we're the alcoholics of the bunch, or of the family.
I bought you all a bottle of tequila with the shot glasses and everything.
Yeah, we've already had it, dude. It's in the tummy already, Joe.
Already.
We have bottles of Crown Apple. We have bottles of tequila. We have bottles of we have Grey Goose that we haven't opened up yet. We have tons of mixers here. We'll be fine. Just give us some. Chica will make and Chica likes to meal prep. So I bet you the day before the storm, she's going to meal prep us for the weekend.
You just need to make something in the crock pot, dude. Like something that'll just like stick to the bones and keep you warm, man. You
You
know?
see, and that's the thing about it, Joe, that I don't like. Like, I love caldo, I love tortilla soup and all that stuff, but like foods that have liquid, I don't like very often. Like I don't like having a lot of caldo because that just sits really heavy, dude. It's
It's gonna
just
give you chorro or what?
it no, it's just delicious, but it makes me sluggish and it makes me want to go to sleep. That's all I'm saying. It's
You're gonna go
delicious.
to sleep
Caldo's delicious.
anyway. You're gonna go to sleep anyway, giving Chica cuddles, bro. Come on.
Oh my goodness. But Chica and I was looking at the weather for Conroe, Texas, right? 17 degrees is what they're expecting Saturday going into Sunday. 17. I have a presentation that I'm doing on Monday. I hope it goes through because I would hate to travel in 20-degree weather, 17-degree weather in order for
Jeez.
it to be canceled. So I hope that it goes through. So hopefully plans are being made.
Look at
Uh
Joy-Con Drift King. 9 months from now. Snowpocalypse
Snowpocalypse
babies.
babies.
You don't like pozole, Mike?
I don't mind it. I don't have it very often. I don't mind it, but it's just again, I don't like the soups. I don't.
Oh
I
man.
like the soup, Joe, but I don't. I enjoy it when I'm eating it, but then afterwards, I feel like trash.
You know
I
what you need to, man, right now when it's cold like this too? Sometimes people don't understand this, man. Just a big old pot of beans, dude, and a tortilla with butter, it hits different, man, especially when it's cold. That's all I
J
need.
JHB says Mike thinks crock pots are ghetto.
He probably does. What is that? Put it
No, I
away.
mean,
Ew.
it, like what I don't want, Joe, is heavy food. It sits weird, man. Like don't get me
Then
wrong. Like
eat
I
eat lettuce then, man. I mean, I don't know
Well,
what to
no.
tell you, dude. Come on.
Well, I don't like heavy food for like every meal. That's the problem when I go back to San Antonio. I'm in San Antonio every week, right? I go back home. I work over there. I have family over there. I go to San Antonio basically every week. What I don't like, Joe, is that when I'm in San Antonio, every meal is heavy, like breakfast tacos in the morning, and then maybe barbecue at night, and then blah blah. Like every meal is freaking heavy. I like to have a light meal and a heavy meal, light
You
meal and a
want a
heavy meal.
salad? You
Well,
want a
like,
side
well, I don't like. I like Caesar salad.
Oh
I'll give you an
man.
example. Like tonight, Chica wants to go out because her mom. We're not going to see her mom this weekend. Typically, we see either my parents or her parents every other week, right? We would normally see her mom on Saturday. We're going to take her mom out to dinner tonight because it's going to get cold. We're not going to see her this weekend. So we're going to go to Texas Roadhouse. That is a cue to me to eat light for breakfast and lunch. I had a couple of scrambled eggs and one piece of toast, right? Something light, right?
Avocado
Light of
toast?
my tummy.
No?
No, just regular toast, just butter, real butter. Chica doesn't do that country crock crap. She does like real butter, keep it out. But anyway, gotta keep it light because I know that tonight Daddy's gonna have 2 rolls at least, and it's gonna have a steak, right? But that's a couple of light meals and a heavy meal. But man, whenever I'm in San Antonio, everyone wants to have heavy meals for every single freaking meal. I don't understand that anymore, Joe.
What about
San
wiener and egg? That's gonna hit good during the cold, bro.
We need egg, man. I had some
Bar S
ghetto
wiener.
ass crap. It's some ghetto ass crap.
Oh, come on, Mike. No wiener soup, bro. You haven't had wiener soup as a
The
kid,
hell's
dude.
wiener soup, man?
Where they cut up the wiener and they put it in the pot and they put the tomato sauce and they put like peas and carrots and everything in there. It's a
No,
po
man.
man's food meal, man.
The only ghetto food that I really like, and I like it when Chica makes it, is the Kraft macaroni and cheese.
What's wrong with that?
Oh, I'm saying I like it. It's the only ghetto food I like. Tony said Mike was adopted, really Italian. Not like that's heavy food right there, right? It's like my family's like, let's go get some Italian food. It's like it's gonna feel heavy the entire day, dude. That's all I'm saying, man. I want to be light on my feet. I don't want to be sleepy all day long. The
Look at
only
what
heavy.
Sean says. Mike throws away food in front of homeless people.
Oh, sad.
Yes, sir. Puro ghetto. Look at that. They're talking about the wiener soup and probably the wiener and egg. That's what I'm saying, dude.
That's gross, dude. Just disgusting.
Hey man, hard times, bro. I mean, when you were younger, dude, that's what dinner was. You didn't have the ability to say, "Mom, I want this or that." Whatever they gave you is what you ate, dude.
It's just gross, dude. All of it. All of it.
Kraft cheeses, Kraft mac and cheese is ghetto.
Um, well,
Oh, come on, Mike.
I'm not saying that it's ghetto because it's delicious, but yeah, it kind of is.
What
It
did
kind of.
Chica turn you on to that I thought was funny? She says in certain neighborhoods there's a lot of fast food, right?
Oh yeah, Chica says, the more fast food you see, the poorer the neighborhood. That's true.
They got
When she and I,
Popeyes,
when we were
Whataburger,
when,
McDonald's.
when we were driving around Florida, I was like, man, there's not a lot of fast food out here. It's kind of interesting. She goes, well, because it's not a poor neighborhood. And I had never put two and two together. She wasn't. She was just saying something that's actual and factual.
Jeez, bro.
Rich people don't do fast food very as often. You
There
know,
ain't no fast food in the Conroe in the Willis, Texas
there's
area.
not a Popeyes in Stone Oak. There's not a Popeyes at the Dominion either, Joe. I mean,
Yeah.
there's something to be said about that. That's not a slight. That's just actual and factual, like TLC said back in the day.
Look at Matt Gomez. Mike said if it's not fresh from scratch, it's ghetto.
God, Chica's such a good cook. She's a good cook. But do you know what's delicious, by the way? Them
What
lettuce
is?
wraps from PF Chang's La Cantera. Big fan. So Sean Quintero, who's one of the big wigs over at PF Chang's La Cantera, got me going with the steak fillet
Oh
at
yeah,
PF
yeah.
Chang's.
Pepper
I
steak.
thought it was just Asian cuisine, right? And I guess there's an Asian inspired steak they have over there. But that steak fillet with the mushrooms, delicious. Let's show some love to PF Chang's La Cantera, who sponsors our show.
PF Chang's La Cantera, San Antonio's premier destination for dinner, date night, or happy hour. Enjoy one of their signature dishes, such as the Singapore street noodles, sesame chicken, or Chang's spicy chicken, or their infamous Chang's chicken lettuce wraps, which are delicious, by the way. You can enjoy all this while you're dining in an Asian-inspired atmosphere. And make sure to enjoy the new outdoor patio and try some of PF Chang's signature cocktails and drinks during happy hour, Monday through Friday from 3 to 6 p.m. PF Chang's La Cantera is a proud sponsor of the Area 210 podcast.
They also got a bar, PF Chang's La Cantera. If you're not there for food, you can go there for drink. Happy hour specials when it comes to food as well, including the lettuce wraps, by the way. There's an $8.99 cocktail collection that they have over there. The Mule, I highly recommend. The Lychee Martini, I'd highly recommend. Lemon Drop Martini, all of that stuff. So what you're looking in front of you, your ladies are going to like this. They're going to want you to take them to PF Chang's for the cocktails. If they want the food, great. If you want to take it to go, they have the to-go spots available at the mall at PF Chang's La Cantera, at the Nordstrom side of the mall. They have right in front of the restaurant, PF Chang pickup parking spots. So you don't have to park and then, far away and then walk your way over into the mall. It's right there. It's right in front. It's really easy come and go. Also, you can get PF Chang's La Cantera if you want to have it just simply from DoorDash, or if you want to have it from Uber Eats or anything like that. Give them a ring, give them a call, and tip the hostess who gets your order, by the way.
Ask for Dee Dee. She's the best hostess that they have out there.
You know what? I know we tip 15% for or higher, 15 to 25, 15 to 30% for the waiters and waitresses out there. But if you have a to-go order, tip a couple of bucks at least, man. Don't stiff them. I know it's a to-go order, but they're getting your stuff. Just letting you know that. I'm not saying that PF Chang's is asking this. I'm just saying that it doesn't matter where you go get your food. If it is not fast food's fast food. I get that. But if it's a restaurant, if it's Chili's, if it's any place where there's actual servers going around, tip them a couple of bucks, dude. At least do that. PF Chang's La Cantera, La Cantera Mall. Go check them out.
Yeah. I do. My new favorite now is the pepper steak from PF Chang. So go out there and try it out.
That's true. Sam Salinas is saying that he's having to bounce from the show right now because he has a job interview. Wants everybody to give him some love and affection, a prayer, whatever it takes to make it happen, baby. Go get that job, man. Go make that money, make that scratch, and then roll over that 401k to me. Speaking of which, show me some love, Joe. My number is 210 508 0369. If you have questions about retirement accounts, questions about long term care, life insurance, I just set up a life insurance policy today for a lady out in Florida. 210 508 0369. I'm also, by the way, nationwide, by the way, in the sense that I can work in whatever state that is needed. So if you have a referral for me from California, from Oklahoma, from Florida, from New York, from wherever, I can still work with them. Give me a call, 210 508 0369. Like I said, I helped somebody with life insurance today. And I'll be in San Antonio training some new insurance agents next week. So I'm excited about that. And also for the foreseeable future, Joe. So I'll be doing shows more than likely beginning next month on Mondays and Tuesdays there in San Antonio at the studio, Joe.
And there you go, man. It'd
We
be
get to we
nice
get to
to have you
have
back in.
get to have professional cuddles, Joe. Not an actual cuddle, a professional cuddle. It's
Got to make
different
it
doing.
weird, Mike.
Yeah, I gotta make it weird. Let's have a hard rock segment, baby.
Hard
Hard
rock
rock,
back.
hard rock segment. Okay, Sinners. I saw Sinners at the theater when it first came out. I enjoyed it. I saw Sinners over the weekend with my daughters and Chica, and it was, we saw it on Amazon Prime. It's available on Amazon. It's one of the top movies available right now. If you have a subscription, you can get it. You can watch it. It stars Michael B. Jordan, Haley Steinfeld. Michael B. Jordan plays two characters. He plays twin brothers in the show. So in the movie, he's both of them, right? Today, they announced the nominations for the Academy Awards, also known as the Oscars, for 2026. And Sinners became the most decorated movie of all time when it came to nominations. Doesn't mean it's going to result in wins, but they have 16 nominations. Another movie called One Battle After Another has 13. Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value have 9. And Hamnet, who's probably the favorite to win Picture of the Year, Best Picture, got 8. That being said, Joe, not trying to be a hater, but watching Sinners a second time, I don't see it as being a movie that should be considered to be the best picture of the year. I thought it was a great movie. I thought it was a very, very good movie. And no, I haven't seen the other one. So if it does win because it's better than the others, that would mean that it's a down year for the best picture nominees.
And there's your best picture nominees right here.
Yeah, Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, The Secret Agent, Sinners, Train Dreams, Bugonia, F1, which was the big surprise, by the way. F1, the sports movie. You have Hamnet, One Battle After Another with Leonardo DiCaprio, and Sentimental Values. You have 10. Back in the day, Joe, I remember it used to be only 5, and now they have 10 nominees going up there, which might make it more difficult for certain movies to win. I wonder if there's because you have more of a selection there. But Joe, you saw Sinners.
Yeah, I did.
Good movie. Very good movie.
It was good. I mean, it was very good in the way that I guess the way that the whole movie flowed, right? And at the end of the day, what was at the core of the movie was music. And I like that there was one part in that
Don't
film.
don't don't
Now,
don't,
I'm
don't
not going to
tell.
ruin it.
No, you
I'm not
don't.
ruining it. I'm not ruining it, but it brings it all together and it
Right.
shows how important that music is to the film. And I thought it was a great portrayal of it. And I really enjoyed it.
No, Sinners was great. Haley Steinfeld was very good. Michael B. Jordan was amazing in that movie, and the one who played the younger kid who has a love and affection and has a passion for music. Um, I thought it was too much like Get Out.
Oh, come on.
I didn't think it was original. I like Get Out. The Jordan Peele movie from about 5-6 years ago. That was also nominated for Best Picture, but even a lot of the voters said that they didn't watch it.
No.
Little racism involved in that because I mean it is a nominee with lots of nominations out there, right? How do you vote for Best Picture and not watch the movie? Which is what happened 5 or 6 years ago when Get Out came out. Get Out was a great movie, but I'll tell you what was a better movie. Last night, Francesca and I were at home watching movies, and she wants to watch some grittier movies. There's sometimes when she's into comedies and sometimes when she's into dramas. So last night we're flipping through movies and we watched the movie Ray, which won Best Picture back in 2004. That Jamie Foxx movie about Ray
Yeah.
Charles. I watched that movie And that movie, I had never seen it before. So sorry for it taking 2 decades for me to watch that
Jeez,
movie.
Mike.
That was such a good movie. That was such a very, very good movie. And when I compare Ray to Sinners, Ray was like 100 times better than Sinners. And that's what I'm saying. Is it a down year for movies?
Remember, I had told you that. I said the quality of the movies that have been released as of late, as of this year, they have not been very good. Not all of them have been very good at all. There's been a lot of stinkers in there, a lot of hype. Movies don't live up to it. You know, Tron Ares was one of them. A lot of hype
Right.
behind the movie. Not a lot of people went to see it, but if you did go see it, it wasn't a bad movie. The only
Hmm.
reason people don't go see it is the kid Jared Leto. They don't like him.
Yeah. And there are a
That's
lot of
it.
people who don't like Jared Leto. That's a very, very good point. Lots of comments coming in. Matt Gomez comes out and says F1 was so good. He says Tony Donal is saying that he liked Ford versus Ferrari more than F1.
I like Ford versus Ferrari. It was a good, solid film, man.
Alex Noriega joking that Sinners is the Reed Shepherd of 2025. That's funny. Um, so Tony and I was saying that Ray and Sinners are two different styles of movies. Mike, you're comparing the culture. You are comparing the culture. They're two different types of movies, but I guess Sinners is creative in a way. But 5 years removed from Get Out, it's almost like liking Dua Lipa's music, right? Dua Lipa, the music's great, but you know it's a nostalgic form that impersonates other people. I kind of feel like Sinners is too much like Get Out for me to think that it's original, and
Yeah.
that's my problem with it. That's my problem with it.
And here's the
Um,
problem with Hollywood and originality. If it's not a book and it's been proven that it's done really well, you know, been up there in the New York Times bestseller list or whatnot, or very popular, it's hard for them to take a chance on something original because they don't want to lose money. But yet they keep rehashing a lot of the movies that they have a license for, right? And they keep rehashing them over and over again. That's why you see a lot of things getting recycled, is because these movie studios buy the license to certain, let's say, materials. You know, for example, the Harry Potter franchise, or they go ahead and buy something else, you know, and they kind of want to rehash it again over and over. What was that one? How to Train My Dragon, right? They had brought the rights to that. Was a book that did very well amongst children. Came out and they had an animated feature film about it, couple movies. Then they go ahead and they rehash it and make a live action. It's just a rehash because it's a proven property that makes money. The movie houses in today's times don't want to go ahead and necessarily take a chance on something new because again they're afraid to lose money. But then when they go and say let's go ahead and just recycle what we have now, and they still lose money, at the end of the day you got to learn to take a chance, because if you do take a chance on something new, it might be the next biggest hit.
mhm. Well, the problem is the economics of movies right now because not as many people are going to the box office, going to the theaters,
Yeah.
right? They're not going to Santikos or the flicks. I mean, people are really mad at Alamo Drafthouse right now because I don't know if you saw this. Alamo Drafthouse is getting rid of their waiters. The waiters and waitresses are gone.
So
They
now what are they
now
going to have?
they now have it where you use the QR code, and the QR code is going to bring people over there to drop off your food. There's no waiter greeting you. There's no waiter guiding you through the
So it's going to be
menu.
that machine, the robot.
Well, no, it's gonna be a person giving it out, but it's servers now, no longer waiters and waitresses, which basically takes away from the personal touch of going to the movies. I like talking to somebody and making sure that the menu's correct. The QR code, I mean, I might have to take my readers out there. My eyesight's going to crap, and it used to be 2010 vision. Now in the dark, I'm gonna have to use a QR code. F
Bro,
that, man. I don't want to
there's
do that.
no lies detected, because when I'm at Flick's Brew House, right, and I'm out there and I'm ordering my food or my drink, it's hard to see in the dark, bro. I'm not gonna
Yeah,
lie.
it
And you don't want to
is.
turn on your phone, you know, so you're trying to order something. So I mean, I don't know, man. It's easier just to push the button and have the waiter come to you and then take your order, you know?
So is it a Hard Rock fact, Joe? Again, this segment is sponsored by Hard Rock San Antonio. Downtown Riverwalk, they have a brand new martini bar up there. They've got a speakeasy. You can go there to have a date night. Nice setup for Valentine's Day. Call them for reservations. Fantastic place. But I'm asking the question, Joe, about like the overrated aspect of things. Like I think Sinners was a really good movie. It's worth watching. It's worth the time. It's a very, very, very good movie. I don't know if it's the best movie of the year, and people are gonna bitch, moan, and complain if it doesn't win Best Picture. But you have to ask yourself the question: was it actually the best one? But there's certain movies out there, Joe. Like I'm done with Quentin
Yeah.
Tarantino. I'm done with. It was a fun ride, watching the Pulp Fictions of the world and Kill Bill and all of that was nostalgic and fun. I still enjoy those movies to this day. But if there's a new Quentin Tarantino movie, Joe, I don't care. I don't care.
What do you
I'm not gonna.
say?
I'm not gonna
Alright.
lie. And I think that we've gone a little bit overboard with all the Marvel stuff, all that. It just becomes a little bit
No.
show. You're getting all turned on about Masters of the Universe. This is
Dude,
your moment
bro, it
to
looks
shine.
so good,
This is your
man.
moment to shine, Joe.
Masters of the Universe, dude. The remake is out, and here's your first look at it. It looks really good, Mike. I ain't gonna lie, man. I like it, dude. I'm here for it. You probably never watched the original in the
I don't
80s, you
even know.
know?
I don't even know the lore, Joe. I have no idea
And you
what
didn't even,
He-Man
like
is
you said,
about.
I didn't play with the dolls. You didn't play with, you said action figures, and you're like, I don't play with dolls.
Dolls for boys,
Bro,
dude. Dolls
Battle
for
Cat,
boys.
come on, Man at Arms, come on, Mike. Skeletor, no,
I don't have.
nothing.
I have no idea what the lore is behind that Master of the Universe. I have no idea what GI Joe is about. I have no idea what Transformers is about. I have no idea what any of that's about because I never. The
Man,
only
look at
one that I
Skeletor, bro.
that's actually pretty cool. Do you know what I only what I know about Joe? The lore of I know the lore of like Mortal Kombat because I enjoyed the video game, right? And by then I was already a preteen. I was like 12, 13 years old, 14 years old. It was me and Sean Quintero and Alex Noriega over at Cece's Pizza on Bandera and Mainland playing video games over there, right? We'd go to all the arcades to play Mortal Kombat and Street Fighter. That I know the lore of, and it's cool. Like all Masters of the Universe and all that stuff. I mean, show me Skeletor again, Joe. I I
Okay.
I mean, if they're making it cool, if they're making it like Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises was
Dark
to
Knight.
Batman, like that's
Skeletor,
cool.
man.
Skeletor in 1980 did not look that cool. They're making Skeletor look like Darth Maul back in the day. I like
Hey,
it.
you know what, man? They have a Darth Maul trailer that's supposed to be released. I wonder if that came out too. I got to check it out after the show, but I'm here for Masters of the Universe, man. This is cool, dude. Like for all the people that are of a certain age like myself, they probably played with the toys when they were younger, you know?
Yeah,
He-Man, the Battle Cat, and all the action figures and Grayskull Castle, you know. I mean, it was stuff that you enjoyed, and then they had the cartoon to go along with it, you know.
never saw it, dude. Matt Gomez is coming out there, and multiple people are saying Mike, whenever sees pores, says, "I have the power." Is that like a phrase? Is that a catchphrase?
That's
What
what
is it?
that's what He-Man says when he gets the sword, and he says, "I have the power," and he transforms to He-Man.
Is that how he says it, or does he say? Because
Yeah,
everyone's
he
saying
says it
R
like that.
R R R with 4 or 5 R's. How does it go, Joe? I want to hear you.
What? Look, I'll play it for you. Let's
No,
play
I
it in
want to hear
the.
your. I want to hear your impersonation
No, it
first.
just says, "I have the power," and he just like screams it, yells it, you know, and he has the sword and he picks it up and he transforms to He-Man. That's what it is.
All right, let me hear it, Joe. Let me hear it.
No, bro, I'll play it for you. I
No,
can't scream and yell it.
okay, okay. You're not going to karaoke it. I get it,
I
but I
can't
want to.
scream
I
and
want to
yell
hear
it.
what this sounds like. I'm actually intrigued by this.
Let me see.
Never have the toys. Never watch the cartoons.
Let me see. Let me see if I can
Don't
get it
know the
out here for
lore.
you. Let me go
Don't
ahead
know
and
the
play it.
lore. Again, Master of the Universe coming out.
There you go. There, you wanted to hear it.
That was
Roll
the
it
best
your
take they
eyes.
had. That was the best take they had.
That's
I mean,
what they had.
I'll be honest with you. The cinematography and the graphics and whatnot look top notch. I'll be honest with you.
I'm being with Greg too, man. I'm waiting for some Thundercats, bro. Thundercats was lit, man.
I had 2 cats growing up because my sister had cats, so they were her cats, but they were, they were in the household. She
But they
named
weren't
them after
Thundercats, man.
she named
Come
them
on,
after the
Mike.
Thundercats. She named them Panthro and Shatara.
Yeah.
Have no idea what any of that means. Shatara was an orange cat and Panther was a black cat. I'm assuming that they matched the Thundercats. Whatever. Didn't watch it. Didn't watch it. I have the power.
You have
Is,
the
is, is,
power.
is that where Snap got that song back in the day? I got the power.
You see
Whoa,
who
whoa,
says that I have
whoa.
the power, bro? They don't know, man. You don't know, bro.
Does
Tony.
He-Man go? It's getting kind of hectic.
Yeah.
It's getting kind of hectic.
Look at
I
that.
got the
Jared
power.
Leto. Jared Leto is actually Skeletor too. A lot of people
Interesting.
don't know that. Yeah.
I like the gif of Skeletor running away through the cave.
Yeah.
You use that whenever you say something you want
Until
to run away.
next time.
Until next time.
Till next time. Yeah, that's funny, dude.
So Tony and Alice asked a question on our threads here. This part powered by Hard Rock Cafe San Antonio. Asking which is the better movie, La Bamba or Selena? And this is this a real question, Joe?
I already know what you're gonna say,
There's
Richie.
there's only one answer to this. La Bamba may actually be the greatest Latino movie of all time. I know you're trying to pit it against Selena. I'm saying pit it against any Latino movie of all time. La Bamba might be peak cinema
No blood
for
in, blood out,
Latinos.
Mike. Come on, bro.
Blood and Blood Out was a great movie. I'll take La Bamba. Like, give me another Latino
You
movie.
gotta pay your dues to me.
Give me a better character than Isai Morales being Bob.
Bob.
Bob, dude.
The guy from Ozark.
when he from Ozark season 1, when he goes, I'm pregnant. What can I? Don't you have anything to say? What is there to say? It's not my first. It's not my last. Bob was the greatest character of Latino culture. One of the great Latino movies of all time. Blood In, Blood Out. American Me was he asked the question, which is better, Blood In, Blood Out, or American Me? It's Blood In, Blood Out. Okay, I think that one's a heavyweight, one's a middleweight fighter. Both were good movies, but like Blood In, Blood Out was better than American Me.
Look at Black Bucket.
So we have whitewashing of movies. Black Bucket coming out there. Those are the good
I
times.
want to get Chica's take on this, dude. Real talk. I'm gonna text her later on, and I'm gonna tell her, have you seen La Bamba? And what do you think of Lou Diamond Phillips, who's Native American, playing Richie Valens? A Latino.
Well, I mean, he's Native American. It's kind of Mexican adjacent. It's like Chica considers herself Latina, but she's like 75% Apache.
Yeah.
So I'm like, she's got. It's like I tell her that her being Latina is kind of like saying, you pour the Kool-Aid into the water, but you don't stir it. It's just floating on the top.
Oh my God.
Text Horn 210 saying Blood In, Blood Out was absolute cinema, he says. Benjamin Bratt's character arc was incredible. Superb acting. Benjamin Bratt, fantastic career, man. Fantastic career. I enjoy Benjamin Bratt's character as Gloria Pritchard's ex-husband on Modern Family. He's so funny in that show, Joe.
And somebody says Lou Diamond Phillips is Filipino.
Lou Diamond Phillips is Native American, if I'm not mistaken. He might be both. And again, Filipinos are Mexican adjacent. They're the Mexicans of Asia. Yeah. The Spaniard blood. They're Catholics. What's the other good Latino movies of all time? Should we look this up, Joe?
What's the one with Edward James Olmos and The Teacher? What was it called? They used to show us that.
That Stand and Deliver?
Stand and Deliver, bro.
Is that what that one is? I know there was another movie that was kind of like that. I'm going to Google right now, greatest Latino movies of all time.
American Me. Don't look at me, little puppet. I know Mike didn't watch that, dude. Come on.
No, I saw that movie. I saw that movie. Um, but I mean, Blood In Blood Out clears, dude. It clears. I'm looking at the greatest Latino movies of all time, and I've never even heard of any of these things, dude. And I think that's the problem with the Oscars, Joe. And we talked about Sinners being nominated for 16 Academy Awards. It used to be back in the day that it was 5 movies for nominated for Best Picture, and we all saw the movies. Like all 5 of them, like you go back to 1994, Joe. It's like, okay, we have Forrest Gump against
Jeez.
against Boys in the Hood, against
You want to see a dead
Philadelphia,
body, Boys in the Hood? Yeah.
against you have all these movies that you're watching against Kill Bill or Pulp Fiction, and you go like, man, I saw all those movies. And now it's like these artistic movies that no one gives 2 craps about, Joe. And that's why it struggles, because right now it's we watch the Academy Awards, we see who wins, and then we go back to watch it. Where before it was like we watched the movies, we had an opinion about it, then we watched the awards. I guess the Grammys are like that for the most part. At least the Grammys, you might know 2 or 3 of the artists that are being nominated. You at least know who Sabrina Carpenter is, right? You at least know who that is. But how many people know who Leon Thomas is? Leon Thomas is nominated for several Grammys this year. R&B artist. He's amazing. He's the guy behind the guy. He's the guy that writes the hit songs for a lot of artists, right?
They're giving you other
nominated for
films.
Best Picture.
Born in East LA was funny, dude. That was funny. Nacho Libre, come on, Mike.
Okay, Nacho Libre.
Nacho
Escaleto, right?
Esqueleto.
Esqueleto. It was
And look
great.
at Big Women Have Curves. I know what he's talking about. This
America
one was
Ferrara.
with America Ferreria, and she came out in a movie years ago. I think it was on HBO, and it was called Real Women Have Curves.
No,
That's
that
what
was
the
on
film
box
was.
office. I hear a lot of good things about it. Never seen it, dude.
Yeah.
Hi Man 22358 says can't find Born in East LA on streaming. Born in East LA with Cheech Marin was fun. It was a funny movie back in the day. I don't know if it's still funny, if it still holds up.
Yeah.
But I remember the beginning of the movie. He was like, "Have you seen the girl in the green dress? Have you seen the girl in the green dress?" I told that to Chica the other day because she was getting dressed and she wore a green dress. And I said, I found it. I found her. I found the girl in the green dress. She had no idea what I was talking about. So there I am going on YouTube, pulling up the clip. Look at these comments coming in here. JHNSB saying the movie industry has peaked and nobody cares about those award shows anymore. You know what nobody cares about? No one cares about their political opinions. And that's where they went wrong. It's one of those things where it's kind of like, I don't care if you are conservative or conservative, if you're liberal. If you are ultra rich, we don't care. No one cares.
Yeah.
Because in society, rich people pay a lot of taxes, but the wealthy people don't. Because wealthy people skirt around them with various rules and tricks, and the IRS has written for them. But no one wants to hear it, Joe. No one wants to hear it. And again, what's the definition of rich versus wealthy? Rock said it a long time ago. Shaq is rich. The guy who cut his check is wealthy. That's a great line, and I'll stick to it, Joe.
You know what Shaq did that was really smart? Instead of going ahead and making a signature shoe where it was like $200, $300, he made it available to everybody in Walmart,
Yeah.
pay less, all these other shoe stores that was really affordable. So, I mean, like he wasn't going for quality. He was going for quantity.
Affordability.
Yeah, exactly. So he sold a lot of shoes, no doubt.
Speaking of affordability, I wonder if the price of booze is going down, because there were articles all over the financial, publications yesterday talking about, and I'm looking at one right now, talking about an article written by the Financial Times saying that there is a surplus, a stockpile, they call it a $22 billion glut of unsold inventory of booze. And that is just talking about the 5 major retailers of or creators, makers of booze. That's not including all the small distilleries or numbers 6 through 30 in the rankings when it comes to it all. Just the top 5 combined have a $22 billion glut, and it's primarily whiskey as the number one undersold thing. cognac, tequila, and rum are the four types of liquors where there is the most amount of supply. Diageo is the five major drink companies: Diageo, Pernod Ricard, Campari, Brown Forman, and Remy Cointreau. I don't know if I pronounced that correctly. Together, sitting on $22 billion worth of aged spirits, and it's the largest unsold inventory that they've had in decades.
Yeah.
So the article goes on to say that during COVID, when people were locked indoors, that people were drinking at all-time record highs,
That
and
was during COVID.
that was during COVID, and that these companies kept producing at those levels, despite the fact that thinking that people would continue drinking at that amount. Remember, there was those drinking parties. We had nothing to do. We just stay home, drink some wine, stay home, drink some bourbon,
Yeah.
pass the day, watch some
Remember where you
Netflix.
could go to the your local fast food place, like anywhere like Taco Cabana or Las Palapas or any of these other little restaurants, and you could get your liquor to go. They would put like a little cap on it. Remember, like a top
Yeah,
on the little on the cup, and then like put a label over it, and
twist
then they
tie,
could give it to you. Yeah,
and they still can. They still
yeah,
can, but that's kind of where it was kind of created. But the fact of the matter is that it goes on to say that not only did they produce at levels that they never reduced their levels from COVID, but that the younger people, those who are turning 20, who've turned 21 in the last 4 or 5 years, those born basically 2000 to 2005, don't drink. That it's very reminiscent to the fact that those who are older are more likely to smoke compared to now.
yeah.
But
A perfect example of that is Gabby girl, your daughter. She doesn't like going to bars per se. Her generation, and even like my son, right? Because they're about the same age. They don't like doing that kind of stuff. They do different things now, you
yeah,
know?
my daughter on a weekly basis might have a couple of drinks, but I mean, she'll go out and get her buzz on once a
Yeah.
month,
But it's not like
or
she's going to a bar. They like these little pop-up shops or something different that they go to now. It's not just like a straight up bar. You know what I mean?
oh, dude, back in the day, I still remember the routine, Joe.
Yeah.
Sunday, we would go to Grams or someplace like that. Then Monday we go to the what's it called, Madison Avenue or Picasso's, and Tuesdays we go to Chelsea Street Pub, and Wednesdays we go to Park Place, and Thursdays we'd go to Atrium, and Fridays we'd go to and then Sunday was actually what's that place at Ingram Mall back in the day? So longer there, Joe's Volcano. You had a roster of places that you would go to, right? And Park Place would be on there at some point, right? And there was reasons and places to drink at all times. And that doesn't exist, Joe. When we grew up, Joe, we drank. Chica and I love to drink.
Yeah.
We Uber exists because of us. But younger people, they gravitate towards weed because it's for the most part legalized. You can buy hemp in Texas, which is basically weed. Um, it's different, Joe. It's different,
Yeah.
and they don't drink at the rate that we do. No different than our generation doesn't smoke cigarettes at the same rate that those who were before us. I remember back in the day, Joe, if you went to high school in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and my parents will even say this, Joe, my parents were like, oh, yeah, we all used to smoke back in the day.
Yeah.
But right now, Joe, gonna be honest with you, I'm 48 years old. You're a year older than me. You and I go out and we go to a bar. How many of us are lighting up cigarettes?
Not very many.
Not very many. 20 years ago, a couple more of us would. But Joe, really these days, because it used to be, because you used to smoke at bars,
Not
you, you,
anymore.
and you can't anymore, Joe. We
The
would
only
come
place
home,
you can smoke is the casino, Mike.
and even then, Joe, most of these casinos, especially the ones that are the non-Vegas ones, they segregate you and they put you either. Dude, I was in Florida, Joe. Went to a casino. You want to go smoke? Guess what, Joe? They had slot machines and tables for you outside. Take that crap outside, and you would
Bro,
smoke outside.
I'll tell you what, man. When you go to the casino and you can smoke in there, because they have it in Kansas City, They used to do that in Oklahoma. And as soon as you immediately enter that casino, dude, that overwhelming smell of tobacco just hits you smack in the face, dude.
Yeah,
And whether you like it or not, your clothes, your hat, whatever you're wearing is just it just smells like cigarette, dude. And it is strong. It's hard to get that stink out, dude.
it is, Joe. And we used to come home just reeking of smoke, whether we smoked it or not. The amount of
Exactly.
secondhand smoke that we got at
Woo.
Joe's Volcano on Sunday, or the lab on Tuesday, which was over in the the quarry area. The dollar beers over there, right? Or we go to the atrium on Thursday, Parkway. We would come back smelling like smoke, and you had to throw those clothes in the washing machine the second you got home, because if you left it out, then your apartment would smell like smoke. But it's weird how like people are vaping now, as people are mentioning. It's just different, and now these spirit companies don't know what to do, and then those who are older, Joe, you and me, we say we don't want to sit with the peasants. We say that jokingly. I don't want to drink like a peasant either, Joe.
You know
So
what?
what?
Speaking of that, you know what? You were talking about speaking the peasants and all that. I did take a look, Mike, at that thing that they're having at the zoo, where they had Digital Underground and was it
And tag
that
team.
tag team. They do have VIP tickets. They start at like 257 and you're segregated from the peasants. You have your own little VIP area, your own bar, you have your own bathrooms, a different view of the stage and all that. And then if you pay I think it was 132 or something like that, you can get in early before everybody else, but that's all it is. You're still like standing room only and all that. I don't want to pay for that, dude. If I want to pay that much, get the other ticket. That way you're segregated away from everybody else.
I don't stand in line ever again, dude.
No,
So
no,
Halloween. Remember Chica
absolutely not.
dressed up? Chica dressed up as a sexy cop for Halloween, and I dressed up
Yeah,
as a prisoner.
I remember
But
that.
my daughter was at a nightclub at the St. Mary's Strip, and she wanted us to go by, which is cool for Gabby to say, "Hey, uh, you know, s- dad and mom." I mean, we don't like using the word stepmom, and Chica and I don't, right? Her
Yeah.
kids are my kids, right? Julian, Kayla, that's my son, that's my daughter. That's the way that we're gonna go about it, and I like that, right? So Chica and I go over to, Francesca and I go to St. Mary's Strip. The line to get in the place was like 3 blocks long. No lie, Joe.
Mm,
This club
no.
was bumping, dude. I was impressed. I was like, at least young people have this place to go to, right? And there's several bars and clubs in that area that are rocking. And we're standing in line, and Chica goes up to me, goes, "I don't stand in line." I'm like, "That's not what I do." So we made our way all the way to the front of the line, and we told the people that were taking, patting people down and whatnot. We're like, "Our daughter's in there. We need to pick her up." That's all we said. They let us in, and what do? We partied the night away over there, Joe.
Oh God, dude.
Everyone else was waiting an hour and a half to get in the place, but Chica and I were not going to do that. We had to make up a lie or go do something to get into the front of the line, because we don't wait, Joe. We're 48 years old. Chica's in her mid 40s. We're not going to wait in line anymore, Joe.
I don't wait in line anymore either. I just pay extra money to get in before everybody else. You get your own private, you know, bar, restrooms that are nice and all that. Even when you
It's
go to
worth
like
it.
the Techport Arena, or you're gonna go watch somebody play over there at the Aztec or whatever. I just rather pay the extra money and do that, man. I'm not standing in line no more. The hell with that. I don't even stand in line at the Spurs game, bro. Yeah, if I
Yeah,
buy
you
my
can.
tickets, I go to the VIP entrance and I'm inside like within 5 to 8 minutes.
And nothing wrong with those who stand in line, because we did it for 25, 30 years, dude. We did it for 25, 30 years. We just don't, we're not about that life anymore, Joe. We're not about that
No,
life anymore. Just pay the balance for a 20. Do the
too
20 doesn't
good
get
to
you, is
stay.
what Tony Law says. Too good to stand in lines. Yes. Yes. Thank you. Thank
We're
you.
too old to stand in line. That's the problem. It's like when you get a certain age, it's like you can't stand in line that long anymore. You want to get inside, you just want to go sit down at the bar and have a drink, dude. It's like I ain't paying, you know, to sit in the upper bowl to be in line for 30, 40 minutes. No, man.
Yeah.
I ain't about that life no more, dude. I'm done with that.
Not no mo.
Hey,
Not
let's
no
go ahead
mo.
and give some love though to Hard Rock. We haven't played their
Oh
ad.
yeah, yeah.
The Hard Rock Cafe, San Antonio is Riverwalk dining at its best. With great scenic views along with its amazing collection of rock memorabilia, there is something for everyone. Enjoy happy hour weekdays from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. with $8 and $10 appetizers, $5 domestic drafts, and $6 craft import drafts at the bar only. Try some of the Hard Rock Cafe's legendary steak burgers, or my personal favorite, such as the grilled salmon or baby back ribs. Make sure to visit the third level and enjoy the DJ as you take in the city skyline. The Hard Rock Cafe is a proud sponsor of the Area 210 podcast.
Very nice. We forgot to play the read, but I apologize for that. But Hard Rock is a fantastic place to go have lunch, fantastic place to go have dinner. Go visit them on the Riverwalk next time you're out there, out and about, just hanging out on the Riverwalk. Again, the Pearl's great and all, but it's actually more economical to go to the Hard Rock Cafe downtown. Even if you have to pay for parking a little bit, it's more economical. Go check them out. Thank you so much for them sponsoring our show. Spurs back in action tonight. 12.5-point favorites, Joe. I'm not going to bet you $20. I think the Spurs are going to win this game. No Lauri Markkanen for the Jazz. No Devin Vassell. Potentially game time decision on Luke Cornett and Jeremy Sohan. Spurs still win this game. But I'm going to predict the Spurs win this game by 8. What's your prediction?
All right. Man, I don't know, dude. This one just seems to me like it's going to be a close game. I'd say about 5 is what I'd give them. 4.5, 5.
4 or 5. It's a win's a win, right, Joe? Tony Alice on our chat, powered by PF Chang's Lacateta, says, I'm a financial advisor managing $20 million, and I used to be a sports broadcaster. So yeah, I'm pretty famous, is what he says. You got to get it right. I manage over $30 million.
Ooh. And look at this was funny too. Sean says, you don't stand in line anymore. He goes, coming from someone who will walk 3 miles to save on parking. That's when you're by yourself.
Okay, so we mentioned this, how Spernandez and I had this conversation when we were in Dallas, because I picked him up from the airport. We went to the Spurs Mavericks game to start the season. And when Chica and I went to the Spurs game in Houston a couple of days ago, I had to make sure to get the parking spot closest to the door. And what's cool about the Houston Arena, Joe, by the way, going out to the Toyota Center was a breeze. You leave the Frost Bank Center, you're in line forever. Because San Antonio, Frost Bank Center is what? It's a massive parking lot, right? In Houston, you have to park at a parking garage at the Rockets game. So because of that, the flow of the crowd's a little bit different, and it goes out a different direction. So each parking garage has 4 exits out, and it's like a necklace around the arena. There's like a parking garage, all around it. And then there's a second layer. If you want to park a little bit further away, you pay a little bit less. And because there's a lot of different angles out, and the way the cops do the traffic over there, Joe, I thought I was going to be in line forever. I got back to the car, Joe, I was out in a couple of minutes. I was on the freeway live.
Dude, they need to do that over here. That 18 or the Frost Center now. It's horrible, dude. When you're trying to leave the game, awful.
Right. The parking garage there that is closest to the Houston Arena is called the Tundra. They're all named after the Toyota products, right?
Yeah.
The Tundra garage. If you go to the 3rd floor, which is the starting floor for parking there at the Rockets game, first 2 floors are for locals, right? Like people who live in the area. But 3rd floor and beyond is for Rockets game. Joe, I parked on the 3rd floor. I was literally 30 steps away from the walkway into the arena. I didn't have to go outside. The parking garage has kind of like the airport has like a sky bridge
connection. Yeah.
That connects it. Joe, it was no more than a 50-yard walk from my car to the inside of the stadium, Joe.
That's nice, dude.
Do you know how much parking was, Joe?
$10.
It was 25.
Okay, not bad.
To be that close? Dude, I go to the Frost Bank Center. I'm paying $30-$40 to park and walk 200 yards from lot 6 all the way to the Frost Bank Center.
I don't do that, dude. I never go in lot 6. It's either lot 3 or lot 1 or, maybe 4, something like that. I don't try to go way out there, dude. It's like lot 1, lot 3. That's where I usually like to park.
Mario says Michael saved 50 cents for cheese. on his taco because he has cheese at home. That's true. Chica has known this, Joe. Chica is very classy. She likes nice things. She likes good food, Joe.
Yeah.
She will sit here and have a sandwich with a craft single, and it just turns me.
Wake up with 3 things in the morning.
Who says that?
You? I wake up with 3 things in the morning.
Two things: I work up with a
Or
heart
two
on
things.
and a
Yeah.
desire to make money. No lies
Oh
detected.
my god, dude.
Dude, Chica was so pissed that we go to the I go to the and I know this happens to you too at games, but we went to the Toyota Center. People come up saying hi, they like the podcast or that they thought it was funny on Twitter, and
Oh.
Chica's like texting her kids, "I cannot believe people know who Michael is. Like it's so
Yeah.
funny." I'm like, "Well, I
She
used
was
to have a
also
radio show, so it's not like I'm just somebody on Twitter. I actually had a platform back in the day,
yeah, she was
a
texting
bigger
me
back in
too
the day."
on Facebook. She was telling me people recognize Mike. He's getting a swole head, you know.
I wasn't saying anything. She just gets mad every time,
She was
Joe.
getting mad, dude. I thought it was funny.
She gets mad. And the number of times that people have come up to me at games or concerts in San Antonio offer me cocaine is a little bit weird.
God. Hey man, you want a bump?
I told you about that, Joe. Man, we went to go see
Oh my
that throwback show,
god.
that '90s throwback concert at the Frost Bank Center. And these guys come up to me and say hi, and I don't know who they are. And they're like, "We enjoyed your podcast. We enjoy your old radio show." And I'm talking to them. They're like, "I was like, man, last time I was here, there was so much weed because it was an Ice Cube concert." And they're like, "We don't have any weed, but I got some coke. If you want to go to the restroom, take a quick bump." And she goes like, "Who's offered you cocaine, dude? I was with Gabby, my daughter, at LSU, and some guy offered me cocaine at a bar." And Chica's like, "Dude, what aura are you giving off that people think that you
Oh
do
man.
lines?"
Look at
They weren't
this. Texas Horn 210 said everyone kept confusing me for Joe just because I was sitting next to Mike. Jeez, bro. No, man, they can't confuse you for me. I look too pretty, bro.
Tex Orr, nice meeting you guys out there, man. And special thanks to Josh. He goes by Josh Too Jolly on Twitter. He hooked me up with tickets. He was like, "Hey, man, we got some extra tickets. We'll sell them to you." And it was a good price, dude. Hooked us up. It was a great seat. We had a fantastic day, and it made me happy when the wife looked at me and said, "These are nice tickets. Like I like where we're
Wow.
sitting."
You
So
got Chica's a seal of approval.
I did, man. I did. It was a fantastic day. But Joe, I managed 30 million. I got to go find the next 30, man. So
Yeah.
I got to go get back to work and got to go get gas in Chica's car. Prepare for this weekend. Got to go wrap the pipes. That was not a joke, Joe. I got to go wrap the pipe.
Always with the cochino, Mike.
Dude,
Always
I
with the
wasn't even trying to
cochino.
be cochino. I was just being legit, man. You got to wrap the pipe. Got to wrap the pipe.
Oh my god, dude. Well, we'll see you boys tomorrow. I got to get back to work as well. Y'all have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow, man.
Oh,
Hopefully you go to
wait.
HEB.
HNSB asks, Mike, does it bother you if fans ask for a picture? Not at all. Not at all. I love it. I love it. I ask for the photo half the time.
No,
If
god.
they say hi, I ask for the photo.
Make
no,
sure you
it's
go
good
to
times.
HEB and don't buy up all the toilet paper and water. Save some for everybody.
Yeah, save some for everybody and buy some liquor, man. Those liquor companies are hurting. I don't want to see these brands go down. I remember Joe talking about cheap liquor. My favorite cheap liquor is Jim Beam, just the original Jim Beam.
That gets it done.
It gets it done, but Jason Minix over at Sports Star would make fun of me because the bottles of Jim Beam sometimes squish. They're not
Oh,
always in
man.
glass. They sometimes squish. And he goes, "I cannot believe you're drinking liquor out of a bottle that squeezes."
Yeah, the plastic bottle.
Called me a peasant when it came to my drinking, Joe.
God.
Jim Beam ain't bad though. I mean, that's not a bad. That's not a bad what's there's top shelf and then there's what's the other one called?
Mid-tier.
Mid tier. I mean, it's not bad, Joe.
It's not bottom shelf. It ain't that Canadian whiskey, dude. That Canadian whiskey in the plastic bottle. No, bro, I'm good.
Yeah, but that Kentucky Club, though, man. If you go to a bar and they say their well drink is the Kentucky Club, you're gonna get wasted.
I bet. And you're gonna feel like heck the next day, dude. When you wake up, feel like you're dead. No thanks.
Very nice. Very nice. Go Spurs go tonight. So hopefully tomorrow we're talking about a Spurs victory, and hopefully the Spurs shooting woes go away. They should put this team
Yeah.
away, though. We'll be back tomorrow.
Later.